near Pollock Pines, California. First of all, it's important to understand that before the fire happened, these trees were already weak. Due to pollution, and primarily pollution, they weren't able to make enough food for themselves. Then what happened, when they weren't able to make enough food for themselves, they were more susceptible to climate change. So they were caught in this cycle of not making enough food, not enough growth, not making enough food, not enough growth, not making enough. We have two situations now after the fire, and we've worked on both of these situations in here. First, the trees that have some green on them, okay? Those trees, we work with the trees to increase photosynthesis, to make more food, and bring them back into a loop where they're making more food to support themselves, which means more growth, okay, and then more food. We work with the internal functionality of the trees in order to do this. All right. The other situation we had was trees that are burnt. But what they have to do is break down some stored food, because they don't have any food in there. They're not doing photosynthesis right now. They've got some stored food. They have to break down that stored food, drive some circulation, drive food and fluid out to tissues that can differentiate into new buds, either leaf buds or needle buds, depending on what the type of the tree is, okay? And then those buds would then grow into leaves or needles, and then that would create more food for the tree, and it would gradually begin a cycle of enough food, start making food for itself, and start to get healthier, and it could grow more, and so make a little more food, grow a little bit more, make a little more food, grow a little more, and then come back, eventually come into that first cycle I talked to you about, which was increase photosynthesis, get the food, really get it going, you know, really pump up the photosynthesis so they really have a good amount of food, and then that creates more growth, more food for the tree, and then both the green trees, they'll be healthy, and the ones that burnt, and the ones that burnt, I mean, some of them are so crispy they won't come back, but those that have the ability to come back can break down food and differentiate tissue and put on new leaves and needles and make more food. What I've learned in this area working with these trees is that it's one thing to clear the internal functionality of the trees, get all of the functions operating in sync inside of the tree. Very much the work I've been doing for years. But the other thing very important in these trees, and I found it especially because in this fire we have trees that were green and trees that were burnt in this area, okay? The second thing, though, is to give all of the trees a sustainable loop that they can continue to grow and flourish in. And that's what I've learned. So one half of the treatment is all about opening the tree, getting it all going on the inside. The second part of it all is still on the inside, and give them that sustainable loop that they can once again continue to thrive and flourish with. And I can work with the consciousness of the tree, that it can move forward when I leave. And that's the whole purpose of being here. Heal the tree and then have them continue to grow and flourish once I'm gone.